What's up, guys? Welcome to Lunchtime Live Friday, January 12th? January 12th already. That is crazy. It's supposed to be snowing outside, but not really yet. Let me get my stuff turned on here. I don't hear myself right now. Can y'all hear me all right? Uh-oh. Are we doing it again? Oh, okay. My audio is muted. All right, here we go. Pull up the notes, and we'll get the podcast version started here. You guys having fun in the NBA? Because I'm not. All right, here we go. Start up on the podcast here. We'll go through these 3 plays that I have. I was thinking about doing some, maybe playing some Call of Duty after this. I see what's going on with like the kiddo and stuff though, because if he's gonna be screaming and stuff and need to take a nap, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to have a fight or anything. You guys are in here for the first time. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like if you would. If you're listening on the recorded version, obviously, do the same. I appreciate you. We'll get the podcast started here, and we'll get going. Here we go. Welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks, now on YouTube live. Today is Friday, January 12th. I have the 11th on there, but it's a good thing I'm a quick learner and think on my feet. Today's plays, before we get into today's plays, take a look back and see what we did yesterday. Yesterday we had ourselves a positive day, but I tell you what, it should have been a sweep. These blowouts, guys, are just like tremendous. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which games to go after anymore. I don't know like what games are safe. I really thought the Celtics and the who did they play? The Bucks looked like they were going to be a pretty solid game. And it quickly was a blowout, and the Celtics didn't play the second half, the starters, which is ridiculous. I mean, imagine paying. I don't know how much tickets are for the NBA, but I'd imagine like they're pretty pricey. And you live in like Milwaukee, and you're a Celtics fan, and you want to go and see your favorite players, and they only play half a game, and then you're watching the bench, and your team's getting beat by 40 points. Trash product. Jarrett Allen rebounds and assists. He finished at 16, so we were on the other side of the hook there, so that was nice. And Isaiah Hartenstein, over 20.5 points plus rebounds. He finished at like 23 or something like that, so we got a win there. We had Damian Lillard over 24.5 points. I think he finished at 21 in 3 quarters. That was a win without a doubt. If we had ourselves any sort of a normal game, I think that was going to be a victory, for sure. Super frustrating too. If you follow me on Twitter, I had a 4-for-4 parlay. 4 different guys hit 4 threes. There was like plus 2,700. Guess who was the only one that missed? He had 3. If we had a full game, that would have hit. I would have had, a public lot, on Twitter giving out 2,700. I had a $100 free bet on it. I mean, pretty sure that blowout stole, $2,700 from me, which is frustrating, but I guess we move on. I'm happy to have a positive day. I would have rather have had a sweep, of course, but here we go. We'll get into the 3 plays we have for today. 3 NBA straights. Very excited to get into some football. Already kind of looking at some things. Already been talking about and wondering whether or not, playoff Kelsey was going to make himself available again. And, last 9 games or so. He's got a touchdown in 8 of the last 9 and 100 yards in, 5 of them or something like that. But we got 5 games this weekend, and 2 of them are going to be very weather dominant games. And, we have to handicap the weather now instead of the teams too, which sucks, So, but here we go. First one's going to be Bruce Brown over 13.5 points going against, it's a Pacers shooting guard there going against the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks give up the second most threes to shooting guards and the third most threes. Now, he's not known to be a three-point shooter. In fact, he only makes about 1 a game. He takes like 2 or 3 attempts. But, of course, if he can get that one in and get, potentially another, it's going to certainly have ourselves right there. Sorry for the cough. I can't shake it. With Halliburton out this year, he's hit this number in 3 straight games. So Hallie's been out for 3 games, hit it in 3 games. 16, 17, and 30 points in those 3 games. So he's been able to not necessarily fly over. That 30-point he flew over, but I mean, he's getting it by more than, a 3-point, more than a possession. So he's been going over it pretty handedly, which has been nice. Aaron Nesmith and Jalen Smith are both questionable today. If both these guys are going to be out, we could see an increase in minutes as they're going to be a little bit thinner in terms of availability of players tonight. And we have a spread that's 5.5. The Pacers are a 5.5 point dog as they're away here facing the Hawks. So I would hope that this is a closer game. And I almost feel stupid saying this. It's like, it's a 5-point line. It should be close. I thought that game last night was going to be close. I mean, don't get me started again. There's just so many damn blowouts. It's ridiculous. I almost don't even know what to do. Like, I went to bed last night. I even told my wife, like, I'm going to do a podcast. She's like, I thought you weren't doing that today. And it's like, yeah, that's what I said. And then I woke up and I saw that Hartenstein hit, and we went 2-3, and I wasn't going to stop on a positive day. But it's just to the point where it's like, I don't know what to do, nor do I even enjoy betting on the NBA right now because it's just very frustrating. Anyway, the Hawks also have some game time decisions. Trae Young and Clint Capella both listed as questionable as a game time decision. So if those guys don't play, we should see maybe a little more of a competitive game. That spread's going to go down to maybe like a 3, 2.5 or something like that. And we'll hope that we have a closer game, for him to get plenty of minutes and get over that 13.5 for Bruce Brown. Next one's going to be Scotty Barnes over 1.5 threes. I was feeding my baby before I did this, so I don't know for sure if like lines have moved or anything, but this wasn't up on FanDuel. I had an ESPN bet was the best number for it. I don't know what it is though. I talked about this, I think, on the podcast recently. I don't think it was a play. It was like a thought that I had, or I don't know. I know I had said something about this at some point, but he takes more 3-point shots away than he does at home. At home, he's shooting about like 4.5, 4.5 on average. Away, he's at a 6.6. So, I mean, he's taken 2 more shots away than he is at home. He's over this line in 13 of 20 away games. And the kicker, or like the real handicap here, is the Jazz allow the 6th most threes in the league and the 6th most catch and shoot threes, which is really the arsenal of Scotty Barnes. Like, he kind of sits in the corner a little bit. Catch and shoot. They're, the 6th most. When he plays bottom 10 defenses to catch and shoot, defending or 3-point percentage or however you want to word it, he's thrived at hitting at least 2 in all but a few games. I think he had around like 10 or something like that. He's hitting like 80%. And in a lot of these games, he's having like 3+, 4, 5 threes. He's not just hitting 2, like he's hitting it like once again, like pretty well. And then just in general, he's over this in 7 of his last 10. So we're going to ride Scotty Barnes over 1.5 threes. This is the late game. I don't think it starts till 10:40 or something like that. Stupid late. I'll be working on going to bed by the time this game probably starts, since I'm on the East Coast here. I'm not East Coast. I'm in the Eastern time zone, And then lastly, in the same, well, not the same game. So maybe this game doesn't quite. I'm thinking of this other game starts this late. Let's see it. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know when this starts for sure, but I'm certainly going to find out. 9:40. So I might not even see the end. And then this next game starts at 10:10. So we're going to ride with Jokic over 20.5 rebounds and assists. Another matchup in, Scotty away, is good to hit in these threes. We're going to go with, Jokic at home. Averages nearly a triple-double, if not, already averaging a triple-double. I know he did last year. But he's owned this matchup against Valanciunas. Dang, I had it. Every time I have it in my head, I know how to say it, and then when I have to say it in front of people, I always mess up. We'll call him Joe Val, though, as that's how you normally abbreviate when you're typing them out. He's owned the matchup. In his last 10 games against him, he's averaging a triple-double with 14 rebounds and 10 assists. He's gone over this line in 9 of those 10 matchups and 8 straight against him. And we also have him at home. Like I said, where he performs much higher. He has an average of 21.1 rebounds and assists combined at home. He's over this line in 12 of 19 straight games this season. I don't know why I said straight, because I highly doubt he's over in 12 straight. But he's over in 12 of 19. Maybe I missed a number. He's over in 12 of 19 games at home. He's faced the Pelicans twice this year. And he's gone over this line with 26 and 34 rebounds and assists in both of those. The Pelicans give up the 12th most rebounds and the 8th most assists. With obviously, that's not an overly advantageous number or whatever, an advantage. Not like they're number 1, 2, or 3 or anything like that. But they're middle of the pack, and this is a matchup that he's dominated. And I, in the NBA, it's betting defenses, or it's betting, matchups in history. And this is a matchup in history where the Scotty Barnes is going to be a defensive one. And then with the Bruce Brown one, it's going to be taking advantage of an injury and the performance without a certain player on the court. Another person, for example, like Jalen Ivey tonight, no Cade, obviously, going against somebody that I felt, who the hell are they playing? The Rockets. So the Rockets are a 7.5-point favorite, probably going to win by 45 points tonight. But, in blowouts and everything, he's been staying pretty true to that. That's another number that I would possibly think about looking at, because Ivy's been pretty on it, But these blowouts, I just don't know what to do about them, So to recap here, we have 3 plays for the slate tonight. Pretty big slate. We're going to go with Bruce Brown points over 13.5. Scotty Barnes threes. He needs to make 2 of them over 1.5. And we have Jokic over 20.5 rebounds and assists for the podcast today on January 12th, 2024. It gets weird saying that now. As always, I'm your host, Jort. Lunchtime Lab, brought to you every day. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias at Live Joe Betts. And now on YouTube, we've done about 10 of these or something like that. 120 subscribers, which, I'm thankful for all of them. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you're listening on an old version, you're listening on the audio version, you want to come check it out, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here on the podcast here, see what's going on YouTube, and hopefully be back with a positive day in NBA. If not, at least a positive mindset that we're going to have some NFL to bet on. We've got NFL on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We have 3 straight days of NFL, so we should find ourselves some wins here as we are heading into the playoffs, and things generally make a little more sense in the playoffs. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully I meet you at the pay window, win some bets, and I will catch you guys back tomorrow. Okay. I seen a lot of people it's funny, everybody leaves out of YouTube as soon as I do that sign off. Matt, appreciate you joining the Discord because of you. Yeah, that's awesome. I think I had 200 people come over with me. So I'll certainly take that. That's nice to although I would say I have not been doing fantastic, so it's nice to have some people in there. I'm not terrible though, but what are you supposed to do when you have all of these losses, in the NBA and everything? But I'm going to close this out, though. Just a couple more people left after being in here. Like I said, continue to hit the subscribe, hit the like, help with that algorithm or whatever. I don't know what's needed, but I'm sure it definitely helps. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with some NFL and hopefully have ourselves, a better time here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and stay safe. with the weather, we're supposed to. I mean, it's snowing now. I don't know how much we'll get. We'll see what happens. But some people are getting just dumped on, I guess. So we'll see what happens. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Stay safe.